Hello everyone, welcome back to our next class non-coordinates Unit 1 Protista, Parazoa and Metazoa. Today I will be discuss about study of Paramecium. Let's come to know study of Paramecium. So here I will be discuss about classification, structure, function and characteristic features of Paramecium. As you know that Paramecium is a unicellular organisms with a shape resembling the soul of a shore. It ranges from 50 to 300 mm in size, which varies from species to species. It is mostly found in a freshwater environment. It is a single-cell eukaryote belonging to the kingdom Protista and is well-known genus of ciliate protozoa. As well, it belongs to the phylum Celiophora. Its whole body is covered with small hair-like filaments called the cilia, which helps in locomotion. There is also a deep oral groove containing not-trochlear oral cilia. The main function of the cilia is to help both in locomotion as well as dragging the food to its oral cavity. Besides a highly specialized structure, it also has a complex reproductive activity. Out of these 10 total species of Paramecium, the most common two are Paramecium aurelia and Paramecium caudatum. Now you see the classification of Paramecium. Paramecium can be classified into the following phylum and subphylum based on their certain characteristics. Phylum Protozoa, subphylum Celiophora, class Ciliates, order Hymenostomatidae, genus Paramecium, and species Caudatum, because Caudatum is most common species. Here the figure you see the Paramecium. This is contractile vacuole, micronucleus, macronucleus, cytoplasm, food vacuoles. This is anal pore, cell mouth. This one. This is vestibulum, oral groove, pellicule, cilia. Let's come to know structure and function. Shape and size. Paramecium caudatum is a microscopic unicellular protozoan. Its size ranges from 170 to 290 mm or up to 300 to 350 mm or micrometer. Surprisingly, Paramecium is visible to the naked eye and has a elongated slipper-like shape. That's the reason it's also referred to as a slipper animalcule. Earlier mentioned it, then it is a show-like. So the posterior end of the body is pointed, thick and cone-like, while the anterior part is broad and blunt. The widest part of the body is below the middle. The body of a Paramecium is asymmetrical. It has a well-defined ventral or oral surface and has a convex aboral or dorsal body surface. Pellicle. Its whole body is covered with a flexible, thin and firm membrane called pellicles. These pellicles are elastic in nature, which supports the cell membrane. It's made up of gelatinous substance. Cilia refer to the multiple small hair-like projection that cover the whole body. It is arranged in longitudinal rows with a uniform length throughout the body of the animal. This condition is called holotrichus. There are also a few longer cilia present at the posterior end of the body forming a caudal tuft of cilia, thus named caudatum. The structure of cilia is the same as flagella, a sheet made of protoplast or plasma membrane with longitudinal 9 fibrils in the form of a ring. The outer fibrils are much thicker than the inner ones, with each cilium arising from a basal granule. Cilia have a diameter of measuring about 0.2 μm and helps in its locomotion. Cytostome. It contains the following parts. Oral groove. There is a large oblique shallow depression on the ventrolateral side of the body called peristome or an oral groove. This oral groove gives an asymmetrical appearance to the animal. It further extends into a depression called a vestibule through a short conical funnel. This vestibule further extends into the cytostomes through an oval-shaped opening through a long opening called a cytopharynx, and then the oesophagus leads to the food vacuole. Cytophysi. Lying on the ventral surface just behind the cytostome is the cytophysi, also called cytopro. All the undigested food gets eliminated through the cytophysi, just like excretory pore. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance further differentiated into the ectoplasm. The ectoplasm is a narrow peripheral layer. It is a dense and clear layer with an inner mass of endoplasm or semi-fluid plasmosome that is granular in shape. Ectoplasm forms a thin, dense and clear outer layer containing cilia, trichocysts, and fibrillar structure. This cytoplasm is further bound to pellicule externally through a covering. Endoplasm is one of the most detailed parts of the cytoplasm. It contains several different granules. It contains different inclusions and structures like vacuoles, mitochondria, nuclei, food vacuole, contractile vacuole, etc. Trichocysts embedded in the cytoplasm are small spindle-like bodies called trichocysts. Trichocysts are filled with a dense refractive fluid containing soil substance. There is a conical head on the spike at the outer end. Trichocysts are perpendicular to the ectoplasm. The nucleus further consists of a macronucleus and a micronucleus. Macronucleus, a kidney-like or ellipsoidal in shape. It's densely packed within the DNA chromatin granules. The macronucleus controls all the vegetative functions of paramecium, hence called the vegetative nucleus. And micronucleus is found close to the macronucleus. It is a small and compact structure, spherical in shape. The fine chromatin threads and granules are uniformly distributed throughout the cell and control reproduction of the cell. The number in a cell varies from species to species. There is no nucleolus present in Caudatum. Vacuole. Paramecium consists of two types of vacuoles, contractile vacuole and food vacuole. Contractile vacuole. There are two contractile vacuoles present close to the dorsal side, one on each end of the body. They are filled with fluids and are present at fixed positions between the endoplasm and ectoplasm. They disappear periodically and hence are called temporary organs. Each contractile vacuole is connected to at least 5 to 12 radical canals. These radical canals consist of a long ampulla, a terminal part, and an injector canal which is short in size and opens directly into the contractile vacuole. These canals pour all the liquid collected from the whole body of paramecium into the contractile vacuole, which makes the vacuole increase in size. This liquid is discharged to the outside through a permanent pore. The contractions of both the contractile vacuole is irregular. The posterior contractile vacuole is close to the cytopharynx and hence contract more quickly because of more water passing through. Some of the main functions of contractile vacuoles include osmoregulation, excretion, and respiration. Now come to food vacuole. Food vacuole is non-contractile and is roughly spherical in shape. In the endoplasm, the size of food vacuole varies and digests food particles, enzymes alongside a small amount of fluid and bacteria. These food vacuoles are associated with the digestive granules that aid in food digestion. Amoeba, Paramecium, they feed on bacteria-like substance. Habit and habitat. Paramecium has a worldwide distribution and is a free-living organism. It usually lives in the stagnant water of pools, lakes, ditches, ponds, freshwater, and slow-flowing water that is rich in decaying organic matter. Movement and feeding. Its outer body is covered by a tiny hair-like structures called cilia. These cilia are in constant motion and help it move with a speed that is 4 times its body length per second. So you imagine how speedily it can move. Just as the organism moves forward, rotating around its own axis, this further helps it to push the food into the gullet. By reversing the motion of cilia, paramecium can move in the reverse direction as well through a process known as phagocytosis. The food is processed into the gullet through cilia, which further goes into the food vacuoles. The food is digested with the help of certain enzymes and hydrochloric acids. Once the digestion is completed, the rest of the food content is quickly emptied into cytoproph, also known as the pellicles. The water absorbed from the surroundings through osmosis is continuously expelled from the body with the help of the contractile vacuoles present on either end of the cell. Paramecium bursaria is one of the species which forms a symbiotic relationship with photosynthetic algae. In this case, the paramecium provides a safe habitat for the algae to grow and live in its own cytoplasm. However, in return, the paramecium might use this algae as a source of nutrition in case there is a scarcity of food in the surroundings. So in such a, it acts as a symbiotic relationship. Paramecium also feeds on other microorganisms like yeast and bacteria. To gather the food, it makes use of its cilia, making quick movements with cilia to draw the water along with its prey organisms inside the mouth opening through an oral groove. The food further passes into the gullet through the mouth. Once there is enough food accumulated, a vacuole is formed inside the cytoplasm, circulating through the cell with enzymes entering the vacuole through the cytoplasm to digest the food material. Once the digestion is completed, the vacuole starts to shrink and the digested nutrients enter into the cytoplasm. Once the vacuole reaches the anal pore with all of its digested nutrients, it ruptures and expels all of its waste material into the environment. Symbiosis. Symbiosis refers to the mutual relationship between two organisms to benefit from each other. Some species of Paramecium, including Paramecium bursaria and Paramecium chlorelizarium, form a symbiotic relationship with green algae from which they not only take food and nutrients when needed, but also some protection from certain predators like Didynum nashutum. There has been a lot of endosymbiosis reported between the green algae and Paramecium, with an example being that of the bacteria named Kappa particles, giving Paramecium the power to kill other Paramecium strains which lack these bacteria. Let's come to know reproduction. Just like all the other ciliates, Paramecium also consists of one or more diploid micronuclei and a polyploid macronucleus, hence containing a dual nuclear aperture, micro and macro. The function of the micronucleus is to maintain the genetic stability and making sure that the desirable genes are passed to the next generation. It is also called the germline or generative nucleus. The macronucleus plays a role in non-reproductive cell functions, including the expression of genes needed for the everyday functioning of the cell. Here you see in this figure paramecium chordatum binary fissions, how it occur. This is macronucleus, micronucleus, these two nucleus shown here. Here the macronucleus dividing automatically, oral group disappearing, the micronucleus dividing mitotically, and then new oral group forming here, again new oral group forming here. In the figure you see new contractile vacuoles and forming two daughter paramecia. Here constrictions takes place and just simply divided, and then two daughter paramecium is produced in case of binary fission. Paramecium reproduce asexually through binary fission. The micronuclei during reproduction undergo mitosis while the macronuclei divide through amitosis. Each new cell in the end contains a copy of macronuclei and micronuclei. After the cell undergoes a transverse divisions, reproduction through binary fissions may occur spontaneously. It may also undergo autogamy, self-fertilization under certain conditions. It may also follow a sexual reproduction process in which there is an excess of genetic material because of mating between two paramecia who are compatible for mating through a temporary fusion. There is a meiotic division of the micronuclei during the conjugation, which results in haploid gametes and the further passes on from cell to cell. The old macronuclei are destroyed and formation of a diploid micronuclei takes place when gametes of two organisms fuse together. Paramecium reproduce through conjugation and autogamy when conditions are not favorable and there is a scarcity of food. Here in the figure you see paramecium conjugation, the meiosis of macronuclei, the mitosis of one micronucleus, another disintegrates, and then exchange of micronuclei, cell separates, macronuclei disintegrate, micronuclei fuse, again the new macronucleus form from dividing micronuclei. Here you get in another picture also you see this is macronucleus, this is macronucleus, this is micronucleus, then meiosis happen, then haploid micronucleus form, then syngamy takes place, and then paramecium form. This is the mechanism of paramecium reproduction. Now come to know about aging. There is a gradual loss of energy as a result of clonal aging during the mitotic cell division in the asexual fission phase of growth of paramecium. Paramecium tetraaurelia is a well-studied species and it has been known that the cell expires right after 200 fissions. If the cells relies only on the asexual line of cloning instead of conjugation and autogamy, there is an increase in the DNA damage during clonal aging, specifically of DNA damage in the macronucleus, hence causing aging in paramecium tetraaurelia. As per the DNA damage theory of aging, the whole process of aging in single-cell protists is the same as that of the multicellular eukaryote. Let's come to know about the genome. Strong evidence for the 3 whole genome duplications has been provided after the genome of species Paramecium tetraaureliana has been sequenced. So it has been studied in laboratory for DNA sequencing. In some of the ciliates, including Stylonychia and Paramecium UAA and UAZ are designated as sense codons, while UZA as a stop codon. This is the genetic part of which has been studied in lab. So some learning point. There have been some ambitious results while they based on different experiments regarding whether or not Paramecium exhibit the learning behavior. There was a study published in 2006 which showed that Paramecium caustatum can be trained to differentiate between levels of brightness through a 6.5 volt electric current. For an organism with no nervous system, this type of finding is cited as a strong possible instance for epigenetic learning or cell memory. So, you come to know about this learning behavior of Paramecium, which experimentally done or shown during the lab study which published 2006 in case of the species Paramecium caustatum. This is important information about the Parameciums. So this is bibliography from where the content derives. With this, I conclude my lecture. Thank you.